This is the best ride any car I've been in. Nothing comes close to it.
And this one here be a nail in the coffin for the German premium automotive industry.
And we talk about game changers a lot. This is game changing, this is game changing. The only true game changing EV is the one I'm sitting in right now.
Germany is where the car was invented. For many years, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, and Audi have set the standard for cars. Now a Chinese company called Nio is competing with them in Germany. In 2019, Nio almost went out of business. Today, they're building battery swap stations across Germany. These stations are changing the way electric cars work. Nio's story shows how the car industry is changing worldwide. The story of German cars began in 1886, when Carl Benz made what many call the first car. It had 3 wheels and looked more like a bike, but it started a new era. The car quickly became part of Germany's identity. The first cars were for the rich. German makers soon changed this, turning cars into everyday tools. BMW first made airplane engines before producing cars. Mercedes aimed to make top-quality cars. August Horch, Audi's founder, left his company to make better vehicles. German engineering gained a strong reputation for detail and precision. If something didn't work, engineers fixed it. If it could be better, they improved it. A culture of precision and technical skills shaped their work. In the 1950s and 60s, German companies changed direction as America made large cars. German brands built practical cars with good performance. Mercedes created safety features, including crumple zones to protect passengers. BMW made sports sedans that were fun yet usable daily. When oil prices rose in the 1970s, German firms improved diesel engines to use less fuel. Audi introduced 4-wheel drive in normal cars, not just off-road vehicles. These steps changed car design. During the 1980s and 1990s, German brands became known for luxury and quality. Only Mercedes, BMW, or Audi showed success. Though expensive, their cars lasted longer and kept their value. German car makers now have over 80% of the global luxury market. BMW sold over 2 million cars in 2022. Mercedes and Audi each sold about 2 million. Together, these companies employ over 500,000 people worldwide. This success led to confidence. When Tesla released its first electric cars, many German executives were not concerned. Some said electric cars couldn't match the driving experience or were just a trend. That confidence grew from past wins. German brands overcame challenges from Japanese and American cars by adapting and improving. When electric vehicles arrived, German companies relied on their experience and loyal customers. Few expected a new competitor with a different approach. German car making focused on perfecting engines and other mechanics. Electric cars need new software and engineering skills, letting new companies enter the market. Now the industry is changing faster than ever, and the biggest challenge to German dominance comes from China, from Nio. Nio almost failed in 2019, but now has technology, like battery swap stations, that German brands don't offer. This is not just about technology, but a change in what a car company means, moving from mechanics to software, and from selling cars to offering services. The person behind this new challenge is William Li, who built his first car at age 40. William Li didn't grow up passionate about cars. He didn't work in a car factory or study car engineering. Still, he believed he could build something better than the established car makers. Li started his career in China's internet sector. In 2000, he founded Bitato, a company that helped car dealers and buyers connect online, similar to Cars.com in the US. This gave him insight into the car industry. Through his company, Li noticed that car companies focused on selling cars but paid little attention to ongoing customer service. He saw that after the sale, most companies offered little support until the customer needed another car. He found this lacking, especially compared to tech companies like Apple and Xiaomi. These companies built strong relationships with customers through communities, digital services, and user experiences. By 2013, Li noticed cars were becoming more digital, with more computer chips than mechanical parts. Electric motors were replacing gas engines, and the skills needed were changing. Li thought that companies who understood digital experiences would have an edge. This idea led to the start of Nio in 2014. Nio means blue sky coming in Chinese, representing Li's vision for cleaner air and a new kind of car company. Most Chinese car makers focused on making cheaper cars. Li wanted Nio to compete with luxury brands like BMW and Mercedes on quality. This was unusual for a Chinese brand with no experience in car making. Li built Nio around the weaknesses of traditional car makers. Instead of copying German engineering, Nio focused on digital features, battery technology, and customer service. Nio offered a concierge service. Technicians picked up, fixed, and returned cars, saving customers time. Nio houses served as both showrooms and club spaces for owners to meet, relax. Nio sold cars direct to customers like Tesla, allowing closer relationships and better control over the whole experience. Nio updated its car with new features using over-the-air software, unlike traditional companies that required dealer visits for updates. Li's background with data led to another idea. Nio cars collect data to improve features, including an AI assistant called Nomi that learns drivers' habits.
Hi Nomi，
在呢。
请帮我把车窗关上。
好的。
Li also addressed the problem of charging by introducing battery swapping, letting drivers get a full battery in minutes. In 2016, 2 years after starting Nio, Li launched the EP9 supercar, which set a track record at the Nürburgring for electric vehicles. This was a signal that Nio could compete with the best in the world. Nio released its first SUV, the ES8, in 2017. By 2018, Nio had built a premium car brand with high performance, digital features, and a loyal community. Li's dream became real, but soon Nio faced a serious crisis that threatened everything. Are you tired of juggling multiple AI subscriptions? Meet Monica AI. With Monica, access premium AI models like GPT-4, Claude, and Gemini, all in one place. No more hefty fees or complicated setups. Whether you're a creator, developer, or student, Monica's powerful tools streamline your workflow. From document analysis to content generation, it's designed to save you time and money. Generate stunning visuals, automate coding tasks, and translate documents in over 120 languages, all at your fingertips. Plus, customize outputs to fit your unique style. With over 800,000 plus users who have transformed their productivity with Monica AI. Start with our free plan today and unlock the future of AI assistants. Click the link in the description to learn more. In September 2018, Nio reached a milestone. The company went public on the New York Stock Exchange and raised over $1 billion. The stock price rose to $10 per share. William Li rang the opening bell. People began calling Nio the Tesla of China. Nio's first SUV, the ES8, sold well, with over 3,000 deliveries in the third quarter of 2018. The company expanded battery swap stations, opened more Nio houses, and hired many more employees. Growth was the main focus, not profits. In December 2018, Nio released the ES6, a smaller SUV. By then, Nio had over 9,000 staff and seemed destined for success. But big problems were building. Making cars need heavy investment. Nio spent a lot on factories, battery swap stations, and Nio houses, resulting in a $1.4 billion loss in 2018. Every sale still meant losing money. In 2019, trouble increased. China's economy slowed, electric car subsidies were reduced, and sales dropped across the country. Nio sold just 837 cars in July 2019, down from 1,340 the month before. Production also ran into issues. Nio's cars made by GAC Motors faced delays and quality complaints. Several ES8 SUVs caught on fire, which hurt Nio's reputation, leading to a recall of nearly 5,000 vehicles. This recall used more money and further damaged trust. Nio stock fell to below $1.50 on October 2019, an 85% drop. Investors and analysts lost faith, expecting the company to fail. By September 2019, Nio was spending $600 million every quarter and making only $200 million, with just under $500 million left. The company had only about 2 months before possible bankruptcy. Nio made deep cuts, laying off 20% of its staff, delaying payments to suppliers, and searching for new investors. Many workers stayed on, not knowing if they would be paid. Lee spoke to car makers and tech firms, but interest faded due to Nio's losses. Most believed Nio wouldn't survive. Then in April 2020, after long talks, Nio received a crucial $1 billion investment from Hefei's economic development authorities in return for a large share of its Chinese business and a promise to base operations in their city. The terms were tough, but Nio avoided bankruptcy. The breathing room let Nio improve production, cut costs, and perfect battery swapping. The COVID-19 pandemic increased demand as more people avoided public transport. By late 2020, Nio delivered over 12,000 cars in a single quarter. The stock price climbed past $40. Nio had come back from the edge. After this, Nio managed spending more carefully and focused on battery swapping, which became the main way to stand out, even as others dropped the idea as too difficult. Electric cars have a major challenge. Charging takes too long. Even the faster chargers take about 30 minutes to add 200 miles of range. This makes long trips harder and annoys drivers used to quick gas fill-ups. As a result, some people avoid electric cars. William Lee understood this. He saw that slow charging was the main barrier. But what if drivers didn't have to wait at all? Instead of charging, they could simply swap their empty battery for a full one. Battery swapping isn't a new idea. The Israeli company Better Place tried it and failed. Tesla tested swapping but moved on. Other car makers decided it was too hard and too costly, focusing on faster chargers instead. Nio looked at it differently. For swapping to work, cars needed to be designed for swapping at the beginning. Batteries had to be easy to remove, and the swap process had to be fully automated. Nio also chose to own the batteries, so customers just use them. At a Nio swap station, the process is simple. The driver parks the car, stays inside, and a machine swaps the battery in 3 to 5 minutes. The car shows the progress on a screen. When finished, the driver sees information about the new battery and drives away. The old battery gets recharged for the next use. By August 2023, Nio had built 2,802 swap stations worldwide and completed over 70 million swaps, mostly in China. Stations are spread out every 60 to 100 miles on popular routes, and Nio is expanding in Europe. Each swap station cost about $500,000 to build, but they work in all weather and serve more cars quickly, even during busy travel times. Nio's battery as a service model means customers buy the car but rent the battery. This lowers the upfront cost. In Germany, a Nio ET7 costs 59,500 euros with battery as a service, much less than with the battery included. Battery rental ranges from 169 euros to 289 euros monthly. Customers can upgrade to better batteries or get replacements at the battery weekends. Some Nio owners say battery swapping has changed their travel experience. One driver in Beijing said he drove 600 miles for a family visit, swapping batteries in minutes instead of waiting at chargers. Nio is rolling out swap stations in Germany, aiming for 20 by the end of 2023 and 100 by the end of 2024, mostly along highways. This gives Nio a unique advantage over German brands, especially for high-speed trips on the Autobahn. There are challenges. Only Nio cars can use the stations. Each one needs a lot of space, and building the network is costly. But for Nio, swapping is key to their strategy. For German buyers, battery swapping makes electric cars as convenient as gas cars. It also avoids the problem of battery aging. Lee also knew that to win in Germany, Nio had to offer something different, not just technology, and that's where Nio Houses comes in. When you buy a car from BMW, Mercedes, or Audi, you go to a dealership. You check out cars, talk to a salesperson, take a test drive, agree on a price, sign papers, and drive away. The connection usually ends unless your car needs service. Nio uses a different approach. The company builds Nio Houses, spaces that look like hotel lobbies instead of dealerships. These places have comfortable seating, coffee, and people talking or working. When you enter, you might not see a car right away. People use these spaces to work, attend events, or relax. Nio Houses have different areas. The gallery shows Nio cars and technology. Other sections include an open kitchen for drinks, a forum for events, a library for quiet work, a lab with children's activities, and a living room for talking or relaxing. Everything is set up to bring people together. Nio invests a lot in these spaces. They are inexpensive shopping areas, have staff who don't sell cars, and offer free services for members. This shows Nio values building a community over just making a sale. Nio owners gain membership to global Nio Houses. Nio is opening Nio Houses in Germany, starting in Berlin, then expanding to Munich, Hamburg, and Frankfurt. These locations help introduce Nio to German buyers. It's not clear if German consumers will welcome this. Germans often care more about engineering and brand tradition than social space, but younger buyers may like having a place between home and work, especially with more remote work. For Nio, these places turn car buying into a lifestyle. Over 60% of German car buyers prefer local brands such as Mercedes. They trust these companies because they have made cars for many years. Entering this market is difficult for a Chinese company like Nio. Nio started by testing its strategy in Norway in 2021. Norway was a good choice because most new cars sold there are electric, and people are open to new brands. At Oslo, Nio opened a Nio House, set up battery swap stations, and sold cars directly. This gave Nio a plan for more traditional European countries. Nio entered Germany in 2022. The German market is tougher. German buyers are traditional and careful about new products. They value engineering and established brands. William Li named 3 main challenges for Nio in Germany: build trust in the Nio brand, create support for Nio's technology, and meet German customers' expectations. To build trust, Nio partnered with known German firms. It worked with Sortimo to build battery swap stations, Mir Connect app for charging access, and Wirth for after-sales services. These companies brought local experience and helped Nio meet German standards. Nio also hired staff who speak German and adapted cars for local preferences. It adjusted ride quality for the Autobahn, changed navigation systems, and improved interior materials based on feedback. Nio created a monthly Nio subscription for German customers. This covers insurance, service, winter tires, and allows switching between car models. Customers only pay for electricity. This plan appeals to younger buyers and those who want less risk when trying a new brand. Nio plans to open more Nio Houses and battery swap stations, aiming for 120 swap stations in Europe by the end of 2023. New brands like Envo and Firefly will go after family and city car buyers. There's still challenges. Building networks and infrastructure takes time and money. Changing how people view a new brand is slow, and German brands are improving their electric cars. Nio's progress in Germany depends on how well it meets financial, technical, and cultural challenges compared to long-established German brands. William Li's vision for Nio is bold: to become one of the world's top 10 car makers by 2035, competing with global giants like Toyota, Volkswagen, and General Motors. For a company that's nearly collapsed in 2019, this ambition is striking. Yet Nio's growth from 3,000 vehicles in 2018 to 122,000 in 2022 suggests the dream isn't impossible. If even a fraction of its explosive growth continues, millions of Nios could be sold annually within a decade. Still, massive hurdles remain. Nio is not yet profitable. In 2022, it lost $2 billion, despite $7 billion in sales. As it steadily pours resources into R&D, battery swap stations, and its community-oriented Nio Houses, we invest in the future. But yes, becoming profitable is also important, Leah said. Like Tesla before it, Nio is asking investors to trust the long game. The path ahead is complicated by fierce competition. Political factors may also get in the way. If EU-China relations worsen or tariffs are introduced, Nio's price advantage could be eroded. Despite these barriers, Nio has a unique edge. It competes not as a budget brand, but as a premium innovator. Its battery swapping, community focus, and digital experience offer differentiation German brands simply don't provide. By focusing solely on electric vehicles, Nio isn't burdened by trying to maintain legacy gasoline businesses, while building for the future a strategic clarity its rivals can't match. As William Li puts it, when the technology changes this dramatically, new leaders can emerge.
4 layers of force.
It's impossible.
Impossible?
It's impossible. This is impossible.
阳光来了。Okay, let's try. Now I can drive the champion. Please.